Oh, what's up, gangsters? Oh, welcome back.
Best intro. That's the best intro.
Okay.
I love it.
Happy
Welcome back to
National
KiKi's
Day.
Bar.
From the KiKi's Bar. Happy National Day. It's gonna
Oh
be
my
about
Mm.
1 week to
Hey,
National
Are
Day.
we dropping this on National Day? Ooh.
Probably not.
Something like that.
Honest-
Just realized
Sounds
it's
good.
just
Yeah, it could be a
yeah,
national
we
day
are.
drop.
it fits well with the theme.
We planned this. We totally planned this. We are gonna talk
100%.
about what we like and dislike about Singapore today. And we will have us with us today. We have
All these people.
Ding Sheng.
Hi guys.
Hi.
Hello.
A brand new
I don't think I
Singaporean in
can.
our midst.
We have brand new
Hey.
Singaporean. What's up?
Welcome, Sikshang. Woo!
Alright, man. Peter and Sing Sheng have both lived in like Australia and China.
Hey, Peter is still Jolo.
Jordan, you have some Malaysian blood.
Yeah, Peter, when you gonna convert,
Hey,
man?
Chat, I wanna say
I
some
don't
things
know.
that
I actually don't know.
shouldn't be said on a video.
Okay, wait, then don't say it now.
Yeah, bro.
There's a chat. Okay, I'll just type on the chat.
Oh my god. Okay.
Alright.
Alright. So today we'll be talking about, like we said earlier, in view of National Day, the things we love and things we don't like so much about Singapore. You can totally say that on the chat. Yo.
Yeah, so
Okay.
That's
You can
fine.
totally
Just
say
fucking
that.
it.
what the hell do I?
Dude, it's people watch our thing. I thought nobody watches something, but people watch it. I'm not gonna say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly,
Okay.
a surprising amount of people have watched these videos.
Yeah, I
Don't
just
know
guess.
for what,
Okay.
I think it's just NJC. I saw Nicole post stories about it.
Yeah, I don't think we have
Yeah.
any strangers
She's
watching
like-
these,
She
but
told me, why do y'all keep name dropping people? I'm just
Yeah.
like, Lama.
Stop doing that shit.
NJ alumni podcast.
Yeah. We'll get as many
Imagine-
people as we can.
This shit being like screened on the giant TV in the freaking NJCA show.
Nice.
Hey, shout out to Ang Pao Chu. My
Hey.
man.
Supposed musings.
Thanks for the
Supposed
Gary
musings.
shoes, man.
Continue with the intro.
Wei your headband is a bit garish today with the two nipples on your head.
is that gonna
Gary
be
My fault.
on sale? Are you gonna be adding
No,
headbands to the collection?
Merch.
Okay.
Alright,
So
Chris
what's-
has been wanting
can we
to do
stop?
this for a while from the start. I think he only wanted to start this podcast, honestly, to rant about Singapore.
Yeah.
No, but okay, wait. Like a disclaimer is that I love Singapore. Like true blue. Okay, I wasn't born here, but I love
Together,
Singapore.
people won't come and kidnap you halfway through
Yeah,
this podcast.
I actually love
Because of the
Singapore.
disclaimer.
Me and Prakash in the UK, all we do we're just basically ambassadors to Singapore. We tell everyone to come here. It's like there's nothing really quite like Singapore, and I love this place.
Our
But
big man is the president of Sing Sok, okay? Don't play.
I was the president
Yeah.
of the Edinburgh University Singapore
That's
Society. Just to
Singapore
tell you guys
Society
some background.
president,
Yeah, that's how much I love Singapore.
Number
Willing
one
to
hit
rip
with
it.
the Singapore girls in Edin also.
Oh my god. Okay. So easily, right? Okay, I'm gonna start now. I'm just gonna get off, right? Since all of us were from the same JC and secondary school, right? And then a lot of you guys, in fact, everyone here except for me is at NUS, right?
Yeah, that's true.
The education system in Singapore doesn't provide. Okay, this is a very basic one. Doesn't provide enough support for students. Like when you go, just to put it in context, when me and Prakash went to Edinburgh, we found like so much support. Each of us were assigned like a personal tutor. Each personal tutor has like I think up to 8 students underneath him, and they'll basically fight tooth and nail for whatever you want. So like Prakash like switched his major like twice, and both times like his tutor like was fighting for him, emailing people, yo, we need to get him on this course, blah blah blah, text. And then like my personal tutor, like I talked to him, and then he gave me like great advice, linked me up with like seniors, alumnus that like were under him before. And then talking to them, I got so much great insight into so many things. And then I come back to Singapore, and I talk to my friends here, and they're like, "Oh, guys, do you get your mods?" I'm like, "Oh shit, I didn't bid enough for." They're like, then they're like, I asked them, oh, is that like optional course? They're like, no, this is like, I need this shit to graduate. And I'm like, what the? What do you mean? What do you mean you can't get your mod? Then they're like, no, we can't get you to bid more. If not, you cannot get what you're. So like, you pay so much money a year, and you cannot even do what you want. Like, to me, that is insane, you know. And like, I can tell you that I have two sisters. Both of them study in the US. Both of them study in Singapore, and both of them are really like artistically inclined as well. But coming to Singapore, there's like no support. They cannot do anything. Like, they ask the teacher, "Oh, how do I get into like art school in the US?" And then they're just like, I don't know, I don't know." You know, like, I don't know. You just do lor, try win competition or. Then they're just like, "What the heck? What is this?" Yeah. So I think the education system in Singapore, you know, it's very good at breeding people who are good at exams, but like the students, some of them are just left out to dry, man. And it's kind of a bit disappointing to see lah, considering the fact that we spend so much money on education, one of the highest like percent of our gross GDP is spent on education. It's just, yeah. Also, NUS and NTU, some places in NUS and NTU are just so like old and broken down. Like, like I went to what do you call it,
True.
Raffles Hall in NUS
Yeah.
before,
Bro.
my open house. I'm just like, what is this place?
So do you know
Legit.
that the Cambridge campus is designed so that students cannot aggregate in case we strike and shit?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
they're not even
There's-
supporting students. They're like pushing
They're
them
not. They're
down.
designed to suppress students. Like it's actually designed. There's no gathering area for you to, you know, hang around.
Wait, are we
actually, I
allowed to
think
say
you
this
should-
kind of things?
I was.
There's an official
Dude.
report.
Watching,
There's
Who's
an
watching?
official report saying this shit. Legit.
Yeah,
but-
The whole Aki school knows about this.
yeah.
But on this point, I like totally agree with Chris. I mean, I thought you were gonna say some other things about Singapore, but I mean, I don't think the education system. I think it's just education system is just aligned to the overall uh, the government wants to output lah, which is scholars
Yeah.
that are able to financially run the country. It's
I
all
mean-
numbers, right? It's all numbers
Yeah.
and money, which I understand. I mean, I get. But I also think, yeah lah. I mean, there are people that will be left out. I mean, okay, like you look at some pros and cons, but that's what I think.
I think
I'm not
for
trying to
something as important as university, like I think in Singapore, most people consider university like a necessity at basically. Like if you don't do uni, it's been taught to us that, oh my god, like your life is gonna be really difficult. Like not impossible, obviously, but really difficult. But then like I have a friend of mine in NTU who NTU's bidding is even worse. It's like you just have to go click faster than other people. Like what is this?
Fingers, right? It's like buying
What
concert
is-
tickets. Eh?
It's like it's
In
so
balloting.
it's so dumb. And then you cannot even like, for example, if you press too late, right? You can even graduate later because you never get the mods that you need to do, you know. And it's just, to
Actually,
me, it's so ridiculous.
Actually,
It doesn't
like,
make any sense.
to be fair, right, all this module planning and stuff, like, isn't it just something you have to do by yourself? Like, I don't find it that much of a hassle.
Actually, how is it in Edinburgh?
In Edinburgh, you say what you want to do, and then they make space for you.
That's
Like,
how do you-
ridiculous.
But how
Why-
do you
why-
deal with the issue of like shortage of, like,
Oversubscribing. Yeah, like
yeah,
oversubscribing. for one thing.
yeah.
Okay, first of all, they have way more teachers, like the NUS must be,
Yeah,
because
I think that's the thing, lah.
they have way more tutors and like a lot of the alumnus in my university. So like I know you guys have like, what do you call it? Like TAs, right?
Okay,
But-
okay.
But the
Understand.
TAs in Edinburgh are like you PhD students, master students. And then I hear that in NUS TAs can be like you year 2 can
Really?
TA for year
It
1
depends.
course.
It
Like,
depends. It depends.
Yes,
Like there are
it depends.
PAs that are PhDs and
Really?
master students also.
but in Edinburgh it's like a
You
necessity.
try not to name drop here.
Oh, is it? Oh shit! I'm sorry.
No, but to me it's like the culture is people in NUS just do NUS to graduate. You know, they don't really have
Okay.
Yeah.
This is the thing about NUS. NUS is a business. It's not actually a school.
Yeah, it's not. But I feel like it
Yeah.
does sucks the passion out of you if you're just going in for to graduate.
No, as in like the way it is run, right? the lecturers are not even there as lecturers. Since some are lah, but most of the lecturers are doing like some kind of research, or they are heading some research with PhD students slash honor students slash master students. That's why they are in NUS, because NUS wants to churn out research to be more globally acclaimed, so that it can climb the ranks and be deemed as a better school. And that's why we also do all this like eco-friendly thing and rag and flag and all these kind of things. And you actually
Honestly,
get down,
like,
you actually get down to the ground level, all this kind of thing, right? I mean, the people
Yeah.
are purposely drinking from straws so that they can get more straws to make their float. This thing is ridiculous.
Oh, dude, I
No.
freaking hate rag and flag. It's
Yeah,
Wow,
okay,
dude,
but
dude, I can rant so long about
wait,
whole
wait.
culture and
Let
NUS
me
culture. Dude.
let me
It's
finish. Let me
so.
finish.
I'm
Let me
so
finish.
unsubscribed
Yeah,
from
so
all these things.
wait. Let
Just
me
go
finish.
straight.
Let me
Let Joel
finish.
finish. Let Joel finish.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, if you understand that the university is run like a business instead of a school, with the goal is to climb the ranks and to make more money, and you will not like it, but you will understand why NUS. I'm guessing NTU does a lot of things that they do lah, and I just resigned to the fate. Okay, this is a very Singaporean way of doing things. Like, if you're too lazy to do anything or start a revolution, right, then you must just resign to your fate. I mean, if you sign up for NUS, then too bad you're in the NUS system, right? So,
Let me tell you an example. So
yeah, so as in, if I knew that in our university in Singapore was like that, right, and I didn't want it. Now, if anyone is, I mean, we are NJ alumni. If anyone at NJ is listening, hi. If you don't want this kind of school, then go overseas, But if you don't have any,
yeah, but
It's
it's
so
not always an
expensive.
any
option for
money, then too
people.
bad for
Yeah,
you.
it's not always an
It's
option.
the
not an
best thing you
option.
can do already. Like, it's the cheapest. It's recognized. Like, you just gotta accept it, honestly.
No,
It's
but you
just
see,
how
isn't that
it
so
works.
sad? Like, another point is that student unions in Singapore are worthless. Like, in terms of the power that they actually have, right? They do nothing. You get a goodie bag at the start of the semester, maybe. That's all you do. But in overseas, right, student unions actually like fight for like student rights. So LGBT stuff is one thing. Okay, maybe not so much in Singapore. But I can tell you a very trivial example. So there's this guy who is an economist. I forgot his name suddenly. Basically he's a famous economist from the like 1800s, 1900s, whatever. And then he was found out to be racist. And then the whole student union made such a fuss. They protest, they stand outside, they block buildings, they block lectures and all that stuff. Until the university had to respond and they just renamed the building just for them. But in Singapore, like you can't even protest, you can't even do anything. If I'm
See,
sure
I just think that this like all this shit, right, is like totally dependent on the motivation behind wanting to join the student union in the first place. So like all like Edinburgh and all these other like overseas unis, right? A lot of the people that join the student unions truly believe in like changing or like helping to improve the schools, like just for the students lah. But a lot of people that do it locally, I mean, it's already very prevalent in a lot of other like not just like student union, but like a lot of other like societies and stuff, right? There are people that join it because of true interest, and there are also people that join it for the clout also, right? So like I think like in Singapore, maybe student union. I mean, I'm not sure lah, because I don't know anyone that's in the student union. But like I think that's probably one of the big differences behind like the what's happening in Singapore, and also because like I think there is a limit to like because in like overseas, right? All these rights and all the things you can do, right? It's like legal, but in like but in like Singapore, right? All this shit, right? Is like they call the police, you're done already. So like the power that the student union holds, right? In terms of all these kind of riots, I'm not riots lah, but like trying to do demonstrations and everything is like completely out of the question. So like honestly, they can't even do anything because it's just the school is just put them in a corner to just like do paperwork essentially lah.
yeah, so that's
So
one thing I really don't
Like I
really
said,
like about Singapore lah.
But
Yeah.
that's not just
even
school,
even the
I mean, in
campus itself
Singapore,
is
if you
designed to
want
Yeah,
to,
it's Singapore as a
no,
whole.
in
the
Singapore,
whole,
if you want to make a difference, if you want to do something, if you want to protest, you form a party and wait 5 years. Every 5 years, you get a
Not
few
5
days
years, I
to
think longer
say.
than that. Yeah.
It's every 5 years. Every 5 years, you get to say your
Uh,
piece, and then you get voted out because you can't do a good job, and then bye bye.
yeah. Okay,
You just
honestly, right,
gotta accept that there's racial harmony in Singapore. You gotta accept that.
Actually,
Is there really racial harmony in Singapore? I mean,
It's a iffy topic.
that's a
Iffy topic.
different thing.
we're not qualified to talk about
Yeah,
that.
man.
A
Yeah.
group of
Yeah, we're
Chinese
not.
boys.
We're all Chinese.
As in,
yeah,
honestly, we need to realize that, like, okay, for those listeners, like, this is all from our perspectives. Like, this is really our own opinions. It's not anyone else's. Not, yeah.
Wishan, I thought
Peter
you were
keeping
gonna
quiet now,
say
you
like
get cancelled.
people-
Then Peter get cancelled.
yeah, for sure. I thought you were gonna say that people in Singapore do anything is purely for their portfolio, which
Yeah, I
is
agree. It's for the cloud. man.
everything is
Yeah.
portfolio.
but
It's
that's
not just
honestly
Singapore,
a fact.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
but
just
okay, but the
Singapore,
thing is, right, it's about having to be smart, lah. So like, you can't really blame people for doing stuff for clout anymore, because that's what this society has become already. Like, it's become so competitive, right? That every single little thing that matters, right, matters so much. So like last time, right, you get straight A's already enough already. Now you get straight A's, right, you probably have to be the captain of your school team to get into some crazy
but
courses.
it's not just
I mean,
Singapore.
Okay,
in
yeah,
Singapore,
it's
it's a
not just
highly
Singapore,
flawed
lah, but
meritocracy.
But
It's
the
a
thing is,
highly
right,
flawed
you have to realize,
meritocracy.
right? Yeah, in Singapore, right, like so this whole meritocracy aside, right? Like because and also because like the things you're fighting for, right? So like overseas, right, they probably have the same competition also. But the thing is, if they decide, okay, you know, I'm not up for this course, let me do something else, or like I'm not up for this, let me try something completely different that's not like a very professional degree. People can still make decent livings lah. But Singapore is so competitive, and not just that, the scope that you can participate in to actually contribute, right, is so limited to like being like a doctor, a lawyer, a banker, all this kind. Of course, it's always changing lah. Like with all
No,
the
but
arts scene coming out, everything.
that's not because of whether you saying that's not because it's limited or what, but like what you brought up just now, right? Like in Singapore, basically you must have a degree, a university thing to be considered successful, correct? But why overseas, like you don't need a degree to be successful? I mean,
No, it's not
there's
that.
the whole, there's the whole thing about minimum wage, right? But there's also expectations that especially Singaporean Chinese like us, right, upper middle class, that we put on ourselves to be at least upper middle class, right? I mean, of your at least a car next time, a house.
No, but no. You're wrong. You're wrong. I think you're seeing it from like the ends first. But to me, it's like what they are taught. Okay, first of all, the education system in Singapore doesn't allow a lot of flexibility. It's very difficult to change majors. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
if I want to go from school to school, right, I basically have to restart from scratch. If I want to like
Essentially, yeah.
if I want to even go from like something like biomed to medicine, right, it's very, very difficult to do because the system basically locks you and then encourages people to immediately
on
pick
that-
the one, with like the best prospects or whatever. That's why so many people who don't have any idea, you can ask Vishen, who like don't even want to do medicine are doing medicine because they got the grades and then they're just like, you know what, I don't know what else to do. I don't have any choice. I cannot change, so I might as well just do the one that will give me the most chance of success. It's not about like, oh, I want success, therefore I just do it. It's like they have no choice in a sense.
I think it's
You
no
know?
choice. I think it's just in general, people, maybe it's shaped by the education system. People like come here and then they grow with the education system and become lost, like they don't know what they want to do.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
education system is actually you're not studying to prepare for the future, you're studying to prepare for exam. That's all the whole like pre-tertiary education is all about, studying to get into a tertiary education, which is that exam that you have to study.
I mean, all like honest, like this whole pre-tertiary stuff in Singapore, so like JCs and everything, is pretty much what like overseas colleges like Concord and everything are, but it's just it's a basic, like it's just what everyone gets to in Singapore. So everyone just goes into a pre-U prep course.
And it's a
to
prep
get
school,
into it.
it's a long ass prep
Yeah.
school. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
totally agree with what Sage just said about getting lost in the education system. But I mean, is it just a problem for Singaporeans?
It's definitely more visible here than the UK. From what I've seen, people there, because they have the option to switch, right? If they do like an extra course and like, holy shit, I really like this, right? Like Prakash, for example, he went from econs and math to math and stats in the span of like 1.5 years.
Yeah.
People like Genkai went in thinking of doing math and science, and then they left with like a linguistics degree. And it's because they found their passion and then were able to switch. But in Singapore,
PH in Singapore, right? I'm pretty sure they can change. I don't know how about how easily the change is like made lah. But like the whole notion of changing courses, right? I feel like it's less of a restricted by like what the school allows you to do, but more of like what people think of you if you do that.
Yes.
Because I know many people that I like within like med, right? I think like okay, like the seniors, they're like 2 or 3 that transferred from biomedical engineering and nursing. So like I mean I would think that I mean like med is they're quite stringent with the people that they take in one lah. But like the fact that they are willing to take in people that are transferring, and it's not like they make them drop all the way. Like okay, usually they make them drop lah. But the thing is, usually when these people transfer, also they don't transfer like year 4 graduating out of nursing already, and they go back to year 1 in med.
Mm.
So like most of the times like year 2, then just drop back 1 to year 1, everything and continue. So like I don't really think it's like a very like, because I'm pretty sure like we know of people also like even like I said within our halls or like outside of hall, like just friends in general in other like in NUS but in other courses, right? They also change courses also. Yeah, but I think it's just like what people think of you if you change courses.
but you see, the
that
difference is that overseas, right, they change course because they have interest. Over here, very few people do, and those that like even feel like, oh, I don't really like my course, right? They just be like, never mind, like anyways, just get degree only, then out. What? It's not like they
Honestly,
care
it's
about learning, what?
honestly it's hard to discover your
Actually-
interest here in Singapore. I don't really
It is.
know.
Yeah.
It
I
is.
don't really know what I
think
want.
I think yeah, exactly. I think it comes from the stigma that like all of us are JC kids, right? Imagine if we didn't go to JC, we went straight to poly or ITE. Then you start specializing earlier, and then you figure out what you probably don't want to do earlier. Because if you start out in the wrong course right after you graduate secondary school, you will know it after like 1 or 2 years in poly or ITE. For sure, man. Like, but then the fact that the kind of education system that is for like the most lost, like you go in and then you're just doing very generic stuff, is the most upheld one in Singapore, which is I think it's a bit of a problem, I guess.
Honestly,
So
I think
what's-
a lot
so-
of the
so how do you-
best degrees, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of lost people in these degrees, like medicine, yes, like they're in
I'm saying,
these
like-
because it's very profitable
Yeah.
and it's very well respected. But like, I'm not sure if they like it, and it's hard to change out, right? Like
Yeah.
when Julian,
Yeah.
the doctor, the
Name drop,
medicine,
name drop.
when he
Name
changed
drop.
from when he
Damn.
changed from what medicine, he dropped out of medicine, right, Vishen?
Yeah lah.
Yeah, he dropped out from
think so, yeah.
medicine to be a YouTuber or something. So at first, right, what is everyone's reaction? Like, what the heck is this guy thinking, right? That's literally every Singaporean's reaction. Like, he dropped medicine, everybody wants medicine. Like, and he can, like, what, year 3 or year 4, just tahan a bit more and be a doctor lah. Confirm everybody is thinking this way. But like, as I think about it more and more, right, I really respect his decision. Like, I think he really figured out what he wants, and it's honestly damn brave to just get out. And everybody in Singapore will be like, what the hell is this fella thinking? And I honestly really respect it now.
Mm.
Like what Wei Shen was mentioning earlier about people transferring into medicine, right? To me, it doesn't count because you're going up the ladder.
Yeah.
technically. You know what I mean? It's like, say I was a doctor or a lawyer, then I transfer to like I don't know what's considered like much worse in Singapore lah, but something like that lah. I don't think it will be received very well. If I tell people no, I really want to do this, they'll be like, are you stupid? Like, do you know what blah blah blah? And to me, it doesn't make sense. It's like you go uni to learn, you go to uni to find what you can do so that in the future when you are having a job and all, you're like, okay, I really like what I do. Not there to just, earn money. If not, then why not we just make like entire schools for doctors, lawyers and all. Even if we've got too many people, it's fine, I can just ship them overseas anyways. Then they all earn like a lot of money. But that's not the point of university,
I think
to me
honestly
lah.
the toughest part, right, is just like the fact that we're Asian. Like Singapore is
Yeah.
an Asian
Yeah.
culture, right?
The expectation
okay.
is based on you.
Yeah, and also right, like the way everyone else in the generations before us, right, have been succeeding is through all these ways. So they don't see any other way because it hasn't been proven yet, at least for them lah. And then they will talk about like every now and then you got some crazy people like JJ Lin. They're probably like, wow, shit, this guy is so rich and everything. He did music and he's so lit. But like they were like, who? There's only one. And they talk about like I don't know, like some other athletes like, oh, only got one. So like, what are the chances of you being that one? So they always just try, probably always like conform and always just trust the tried and tested method of going to these specific courses. So it's like, it's not really like a thing that okay, I think definitely like Singapore as a society is like kind of perpetuating this kind of mindset because of the things that they're supporting and everything. But like it's also it's like the people itself also lah. So it's like even if you were to be in China, right? Like there are some things that people do, then you'd be like, why are you doing this also?
Yeah.
So it's them tough lah, honestly. I'm not sure how like we can like get around this
So
thing.
Yeah.
So
when
Must,
when is it
must
gonna
bring honor to
change?
the family.
I gotta understand
Yeah.
that in the
No.
past Singapore, like we really Singapore was very poor in the past. We went from third world to first world in like 1-2 generations. And like how do we do that? Is like from education and just earn money lah. You just gotta
No, but
tahan and earn money. Only
thing that is
now
very-
we have the privilege. We have the privilege of like enjoying
Choice.
life and doing what we want.
No,
But
the
it's
issue
hard
with
to break out of
Singapore
it.
is that we are perpetuating the idea that you can only be successful and have money if you do these certain jobs. And we're not instead encouraging people to like tell them, hey, if you're very good at this, which is true by the way, if you're very good at a certain thing, you will be paid for it. And in the end, what we have is a bunch of people doing courses they don't like and therefore being mediocre at it in the future. And it doesn't involve or evolve our skills as people, as a generation of like.
But the thing is, if you want to work in Singapore, there are only a few jobs that will pay you well. The rest
that's
won't.
a top. Okay, but honestly,
That
right,
is
I think
not-
like what
that is not
Honestly, it's
really
true
that
lah. When you
true.
go on your
Xing Shan,
intern
Xing
search
Shan.
and stuff,
Yeah,
it's so
I
hard.
got a question. Okay, I got a question for Xing Shan. Top barista, how much is he earning in Singapore?
Top barista.
Number one.
Wow. Below 3.
Enough to even buy his beans, lah. Peter, below
mean,
3
unless-
enough to buy
unless-
your beans, lah.
Yeah, it's
Peter.
not enough.
You're saying like
Yeah.
a higher barista, right?
Yeah.
That's a higher barista. If let's say you're that good and then you open your own shop, obviously you'll be earning more than that lah.
Yeah, but
Yeah lah,
opening
yeah
your
lah.
own shop is different from being a barista.
It's different,
So
right?
you-
But when you're
yeah.
higher,
Yeah.
you probably get maximum 3+.
Yeah, so
Maximum
it's just,
3+. F&B
mean,
as
okay,
industry itself, it just doesn't pay well.
that's what like I think is like quite sad about Singapore is that we don't recognize people's talents and we don't, especially for hawkers.
Yeah.
Like
I completely agree.
I would
Yeah,
pay like
hawkers
much,
Oh, man.
hawker is so true. I feel so bad for the hawkers.
like I would pay
Legit.
much more money for hawker food. Like honestly.
But you're
Because
not
all
only
these-
paying for the food, you're paying for the culture, you're paying for the hard work they put in making it as well.
Oh,
All
the
these
segue
old-
into the next thing we don't like about Singapore.
Anyway,
Yeah,
yeah,
so,
let's,
like,
let's,
Yeah,
let's,
I'm
That's
not
actually
gonna
it.
The
Yeah.
lack of
recognize
support
food
for
anymore.
hawker people, man.
I think
Yeah.
it's just F&B in general. Like, I feel that there are some things that are just way too oversubscribed to that it's like super expensive stuff that we shouldn't
Yeah.
really need to care so much about. Like, stuff like acai bowl, stuff like
Oh my goodness, I despise Mr.
Bro,
Coconut.
that one is
Oh, Mr. Coconut
Yeah,
is the
Mr.
bomb,
Coconut.
dude.
Yeah, I think it's
Why
not
is
bad.
it
Despise.
controversial opinions, man.
But
you know what's the most
Singaporeans,
overrated
yeah.
shit that is like super popular now? I just tried it. Like
What?
the bombolinis, you know? The
The sour bomb
those
probably
donuts, those
Yeah,
filled
yeah,
All the
donuts.
donuts.
Dude, they taste
yeah,
like
so ahead
ass,
of the
dude. They're
curve.
worse than
It's
Dunkin'
only 'cause-
Donuts.
It's only because sour
Wait,
bomb
where is
just
it? Is it a
dropped
new
recently.
shop?
No,
The
like
sour bomb.
I tried
It's at
I tried
Penang Road.
Puffs and Peaks, which is apparently like the best
the best.
rated one.
Is that the one in
It's-
Tampines?
I
Yes,
don't know where it
freaking
is.
far.
Like it tastes okay, but it's bullshit, man. Honestly.
Okay,
No,
this,
like
this,
you're talking about
this
that
is
kind of fake culture, right? They're not selling food; they're selling aesthetics.
For sure,
They're
for
selling
sure,
a-
man.
this no,
Yeah.
this is where I think right, Singaporeans should band together and like stand up for our own like food and stand up for our own culture. We don't have to like buy in all these like things that come from outside. The Ang Moh lah, all the Ang Moh lies. We don't have to buy into all the Ang Moh lies.
Yeah, is it
I
like
agree,
cut
man.
And
the
they sell their
churro,
food.
the
It's so
youtiao?
expensive. Like what the heck?
As in, like,
Hey,
Singaporeans
why
in general are so enamored by this Western culture of like eating salads or like, oh,
It's
I need
not-
to have like this sort of luxurious food. But we have such a wonderful like
So
local food culture.
There's
you know?
another problem like about being lost. Like Singaporeans, they see queue, then they just join. And there's another sign showing that like they're just lost. They're just
Just
following trend. They're just sheets, yeah.
Shit.
And like
Yeah.
you know the ones that actually being hit the worst by COVID, it's not the hawker stores that taste good and does good food. It's the medium ones that some people heard of, some people haven't. You know, they get hit bad
Yeah,
because the popular ones still get customers, but the your everyday hawker, the chicken rice downstairs your house, that is not part of a brand.
I know,
Those
right? And
get
this
hit like
this
shit.
makes my blood boil like crazy. This freaking trash ass journalism that I saw on Instagram that time during CB. I think it was Mothership or some bullshit trash ass journalism. Posting a
Oh
picture
shit!
of
Oh,
like
flaming
my
mothership now.
favorite
They're
the
coming, Sean. They're
Kyokumi,
coming. Behind you.
the Hill Street Taiwan pork noodles.
Yeah.
It's so good, right? They fucking make millions of dollars a year and or some shit. Like for sure millions of dollars. One bowl of
The
noodles
one
like
boy is at $10.
yeah, 6, 8, 10 or something, or 8, 10, 12. I can't remember.
Yeah.
And like they dare to post the fucking articles saying there's no queues and they're struggling. Fuck off, man. Come on. I literally
the
went
ones
there the
that are
next day and I
struggling
waited for 2 hours. Like it's trash ass journalism perpetuating all this bullshit.
The ones that are
Also.
struggling are like the hawker stores that already not many people visit. Like your second choice at the hawker center. Those are the ones that
Yeah.
get hit very hard.
I mean,
You know,
It's so
it's
irresponsible,
not
man. It's so
it's not Canadian
irresponsible
chicken rice. It's the store
journalism.
beside Canadian chicken rice that's getting hit hard.
Yeah, you can probably have an entire episode talking about the trash ass journalism in Singapore also.
But that is so true.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's
Okay,
a
but
big
on
one.
Yeah,
this
we're gonna
like
take
point,
umbrage,
right?
man.
On the on this point, right? Like it's just like the whole we don't stand together for each other at all. Like that's just what Singapore is. It's like we're like so quick to point. Okay, okay, it's damn stupid. So like even recently, like the Joseph Schooling, and Kwah Chong
Yeah.
Wow,
Wen,
that's
Kwah Ting
so
Wen,
dumb.
everybody,
That
right?
is
Wow,
So
what the
like
worst. Eh.
when
it's not
he
camaraderie.
wins Olympic gold, right? And everyone's like, "Whoa, bro, Joseph, you're so
Oh
fucking
my
lit, man. You're the
god,
best, right?"
man.
Then when let's say he doesn't qualify for the next round, and I was like, "Wow, fucking knew it, bro. He's trash. How has he been doing? I heard he's gained weight, everything."
Dude,
Then it's
people
like,
don't
you know what I mean?
understand. Eh.
Like I don't. Yeah, it's just so stupid, right? How everyone is so quick to like you know what? There's no like sense of like how to
Actually, I
say.
didn't see all the hate comments. What I saw
It's
were
so
a lot of like encouraging comments. So I think there are people that are out there.
Of course. But
Yeah,
it's
no,
just
they are great. They are great Singaporeans.
Yeah, but
yeah, of
honestly,
course.
like this is a
Yeah,
worldwide thing. Have you seen the reaction to Simone Biles pulling out of the gymnastics also? Or when like Naomi Osaka lost in the first or
Yeah,
second
yeah.
round? It's a worldwide thing, but
I saw a quote when an athlete wins, right, the whole nation win together. But when they lose alone. Wow, damn sad. I cry. I tear up.
But that's facts though, honestly.
I gotta
Cry
say,
every
people
time.
who criticize Olympic athletes for sure have
don't think
never
they
played
have
a sport in their life.
they don't have the
Freaking
right to
making
do
the
it.
Olympics is so insane on its own already.
This particular
Right,
Olympics
right.
is going like crazy. It's freaking insane.
For
Yeah.
So
sure,
many
if you've
world
ever
records being
played a
broken
sport in
now.
your life, you'll realize how insane the worst Olympic athlete is and how much
You like
training they must have
actually
put in.
That's true.
That is so
actually
true.
try, like the amount of sacrifices for us to make, right, to just be like less than mediocre at the sport is just
Oh my
it's
god.
just
Yeah,
saddening.
trainings.
It's just saddening.
It is insane. It is
Gotta go
insane.
through 3 coaches.
Yeah. So
I
it's
think
just
I see that.
I think that's also why, right, like as in go back to the first point, that's also why like Singaporeans, right, we end up like that. Because I mean, okay, first thing is like we scared of failure lah. Kiasi, right? We don't want to die, and we don't want to like end up deem a failure, like bring dishonor to your family. Yeah, so like you can't risk it all if you don't like smell the victory. You know what I mean? People like Joseph Schooling and Kwah Chong Wen, they smelled it a bit. But for us, even
Okay,
we get to try, and then we just like, okay, like it's not worth it.
You'll just realize it's actually impossible. It's so insane.
Like halfway through, you just like, okay, I chose the wrong spot, and then you just give up, and then you realize that even if you choose the wrong course, you will still earn like $4,000 or $5,000, and it's all gonna be okay in the end.
Yeah. That's the mentality that I think most Singaporeans have.
Which I
Going
think
Honestly,
into
like,
NUS, NDU.
no, which I think is like safe, but it's also in a sense safe. So we don't produce any stars. But safe also because
honestly, right, like,
then everyone's safe lah. Like nobody is like. I mean, there are still people that are in the poverty cycle. But that's another issue lah.
yeah, okay, but okay, like what Joel said, right, is I think it's damn true lah. Like, so because they smelt like what they can possibly achieve, right? So they went all in. Okay, this is a whole other thing about why our sports scene is so ass in Singapore, right? It's just because of like how we okay, I guess we never really fully commit anything lah. But it's also because not a lot of people get to smell and that dare to fully commit to anything. So like I think like one way that Singapore can like try to address this, right? So like and this completely applies to education as well. So like if you want to support things that are outside of the stereotypical way of achieving success, right? You have to kind of breed it, correct? But how do you breed it like aside from just having those half-ass posters and like freaking little
Money,
like emails
dude,
that you send?
money.
No, so that's why I think, right? Okay, other than money lah, I think, right,
Money, man, for sure.
it's like recognition in terms of like competition. So when like let's say we have a lot of like, every year there's like a yearly like okay, I'm not very well read about all these things lah, but like let's say every year like within like primary schools or like secondary schools, I know there are like art competitions and everything, but it's like I don't know how many are there in the first place, you know what I mean? So like you having stuff like this, right, to kind of like show people that like show some kind of like recognition or appreciation, and then they are more motivated to do these kind of things because they know that it is a thing that can be done. Because if like if no recognition, if no support is being shown to this while the whole time they're developing, right, it's just gonna drop like when they're 15, 16, and they start studying for like whether wherever they go, like whether IT, poly or JC, right? Like for us JC, they start studying for A levels, right? And they just throw out all these dreams already. And those are the best ages when whatever you do, right, matters the most. Like honestly, right, if any of us go and start some stupid sport now, right, confirm, right, you train 24 hours a day
It's
for
not
fucking
possible, it's way too
10
late.
years of your life, right? You can't even qualify for SEA Games, bro. Confirm.
I tell you,
It's
the best motivation is just money. How can our SEA Games like hopeful canoeists have to work McDelivery afterwards to make ends meet? Like
Yeah.
Apparently,
the
a
Korea
lot more
squash
thing matters.
players who are like
Yeah,
They
ranked,
get
I
$1
mean,
million
that's-
for winning gold.
yeah, but
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
just give
But
them
who
a
does that though?
salary
That's
so they
why.
can train,
but-
so they
No,
can
but you
focus
can
on
only go once
training.
every 4 years. Once every 4 years.
Yeah.
Just give them a
Wow.
salary so they can focus on training. They just focus
Yeah,
on
that's
training.
why
Why not?
I agree. Every
but
sport
that's
so far that I know of, right, no one gets
It's
okay, but
not
I don't know where the
nearly
money is
enough.
even. Okay,
It's the government
that
funding.
this in
even
itself,
S
right?
League, the S League.
That's
This,
what once you're a
yeah,
national
exactly.
athlete, so like what's
Okay,
it
but
like?
this in itself, right, is exactly why, right? Okay, so like let's say for example, like S League, okay. So like I was just thinking about it. Like I saw my friends' stories on Instagram about how they went to watch a game. And I was like, that's so lit. And I was like, you think about it, right? People complain about like say okay, let's say nobody wants to do a sport and everything. Like oh, you won't earn any money as an athlete and everything. And like I know lah, like national team basketball, nobody earns that much money. That's why they all work jobs outside. And like Sean said also, the canoeists also work jobs outside. And like maybe only the ones that are like the most successful in terms of being full-time athletes are maybe is the S League in Singapore. But even then, right, the reason, right, I can just think of like very basically, right, why they can't earn and make a living like very comfortably, right, being an athlete in Singapore at least for S League, is because nobody goes to the games, bro. Like, and that's just Singaporeans being
Yeah.
Singaporeans again.
No, that's
Like, why can't you
that,
just go
we
to
can't
true.
we
just go to
don't
like
appreciate people's talent lah. I think
yeah?
that's just the
So
thing.
why if
So I
no one
think you
is
have to
supporting
you need to
behind
hit a
this?
This
certain
where-
threshold.
This
You hit a
is
certain
Mr.
threshold
Teo's
to be
Mr.
appreciated.
Teo's quote like hit so very hard. I remember I went to one math class and then he told me, he shouted at me, you think next time who gonna care about you peddling? Huh? He only care about whether you get A for math or not. And it's true.
It's true.
And it's
What
true.
the
It's so
fuck?
true, and I hate it, man. Like,
I mean, it's a
My-
very true fact, lah. Yeah.
like in
I mean, like,
Korea, like Korea squash is like trash, right? Like what Korean squash players, like who are they? Yeah, but as long as in the Korean national squash team, right, you get very comfortable salary, like 90K a year, and you can just focus on training. Everyone is a full time squash player, or like you
Yeah,
do some
agree. The
coaching
fact
on
that
on the
So I
side.
think the fact that leisure games or leisure competitions, right? No one watches them in Singapore. Is kind of the reason why, you know.
That's why I was gonna say next time, right, when I grow old, right, we can just go fucking watch athlete games, bro. Like serious. That sounds like it's so lit. Just go on a weekend and just go buy some beer, sit on the sidelines and watch some games. Quite hype, right?
I would
And they
love
for sure
that.
way
That
better
sounds
than us
pretty fun.
also.
Sounds pretty fun.
Let's go now.
Yeah.
Let's go
Yeah, the
now.
Tampines
Let's
Rovers,
now.
let's
There's
go.
no games.
Valencia,
Let's go. Let's go.
Valencia.
Woodlands, Wellington, dude.
Like,
Woodlands,
yeah, but I mean, like, all
Wellington.
sports culture, like, it does boil down to, like, like the culture of, like, where the community. So, like, maybe I just share with you guys, like, what it was like in Australia. So, like, in Australia, I used to swim. I used to swim my car a lot. So I used to go to, like, my local pool, and then usually I get, like, swim lessons and stuff like that. What I realized is that there are a lot of people who actually swim on, like, the squads. So there's for example, like, there's multiple pools inside my state, right? Each pool has a squad, and then each squad actually represents a club. Actually, they come together for, like, quarterly swim meets, and then they have actually, like, teammates and stuff like that. So to them, like, in Australia, athletes are well supported because clubs pay them money. Like, clubs give them the base amount of money that they need to survive in the first place. So to them, they already see, like, culturally wise, they see, like, sports as a good enough uh rice bowl lah, right?
Yeah, but
People
okay.
people attend these kinds of things,
That's the
right?
thing
But
in
we don't see
Singapore.
that here in Singapore, right?
No,
There's no
okay,
club,
Peter. I tell you,
right?
okay, last time my brother was in competitive swimming, okay, and he was like 5 years old until about, I think about 10 years old, right? And then he swim with Kwa Zheng Wen, like legit in Singapore Swimming Association, because they're same age. So there's like swim meets and stuff and different clubs and everything. But why are they there? You know what I mean, I guess.
For prize money.
The
No,
parents put them
there's
there.
no prize money. Yeah, because the parents forced them to do it. Why? I don't know
Yeah.
why.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know why. Like, we are being forced to
So
do this. I think it's because like
while the kids are
Yeah,
competing,
that's
there's a
true
real
also.
competition going on between the parents.
it's just like
Yeah.
your like
I
Whose
CCA
kid is
points
doing better? That's
Actually, I agree with that
go
one.
to
Yeah.
get into secondary school.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Oh,
It's
DSA. Oh
so
my
stupid
god.
lah. I just think
Oh,
it's so
joke.
stupid. Anyway,
Yeah.
So we
I
are
mean,
the
if you
competitive ones,
just
the real
compare
ones.
Singapore to like something like Korea, right? Where I mean, you compare like okay, both very stressful education systems, but in Korea, being an athlete for your country is considered national pride. You're like a legend. Like if someone in Bukit Timah like you were like a national athlete, wow, fuck, you're known for that. You're like
Yeah, I agree.
like
I
the god
agree.
of Bukit Timah sort of thing, and people are like,
Yeah.
if you're a national athlete, they put you on the same pedestal as like a lawyer, doctor. You probably even higher, honestly.
Oh,
Definitely
NS
higher because
deferment,
okay,
dude. They have NS deferment for Asian
Yeah.
Games gold or
Deferment
Olympic
is
medals.
damn
I've been watching
stupid.
Just freaking let
the
Joseph Cooling
China
train,
broadcast
man.
for all the competition, right? So legit, the China broadcast, no matter what the athlete do is good. No matter what the athlete do, like the athlete screw up damn bad, right? The China person will praise until like, wow, this guy represent our country. He's the honor of our communist party. This kind of things, you know. Yeah,
It makes sense, what? These are people representing a country and putting a
yeah,
nation on their
correct.
back.
Legit. Like I think one of the swim meets, one of the girls they like didn't even make it all right. Then at the end the commentator just like, oh, let's give us a round of applause to our beloved athlete who just represented our dear country or our motherland to the competitions. That kind of things, you know.
yeah, but
Mm.
I think it's improving lah.
It is. But I think the only thing we can do, right,
Yeah.
is like as the next generation of people growing and starting to fill in all these roles that all these boomers are gonna start leaving, right? Like the only thing we can do is just to keep this mindset and then not like end up being victim to all these other like subscribing to all these other things that all these older people are saying. So like we have to support ourselves essentially because it's very okay, especially in Singapore like you wanna like
I feel like
raise a
I
the new
mean with
generation is
the
being more self-absorbed though.
with the privilege that we have lah, right?
What we
Yeah.
should do is like
Should be.
fund these things because money
Yeah,
is
dude, it's
yeah.
just money. It's straight up money. Give them
Yeah.
a livable salary for being in the national team so that they can train. So that they don't have
and
to
then it
work a
becomes
freaking
more
second
attractive to
job.
people.
I don't know where the
more
money
people
is like going though. TBH
The
like
money,
Yeah, I think in China,
I don't know,
being a
man.
national athlete is more like serving the army. Like you get food, you get
Yeah,
I
a
see
livable
where you're
wage.
coming from.
everyone lives together, and then And then
I mean,
like
that's
you
that's
draw
that's
a
the
allowance.
old style, right? That's
That's
the
the
old
old style,
style.
the old style.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, China keeps doing it. It freaking works. Like, look at the amount of medals they're getting. Like, what a shit.
Anyway,
Yeah, and okay,
Mm.
but just like a very quick one on this shit, right? Like, and I think like we cannot be too comfortable. Like, okay, so like we are honestly Singapore is crazy because of how far we came, and everyone knows that. But like, I think one thing that we cannot like be complacent about, right, is the fact that we have like 5-6 million. We have like 6 million people in this bloody country. Okay, I don't talk about like how many are Singaporeans and how many are like foreigners or PRs or whatever. But like we have 6 million people in this country, right? And then other countries like Iceland or like for example like Iceland.
Equatorial
Iceland has
Guinea.
like how many, or like, okay, I don't know, but
Fiji.
bro, all these but
Mm.
like all these places who are like so like the population is way smaller than ours, right? Are still like doing things on a global stage. Like one aspect is definitely like sports wise. Like I think, was it Euros or what? I can't remember. The Iceland team made it quite far, right?
Like
Do you
semis
remember?
or quarters.
Semis or quarters. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, it's crazy. And then the
Wait,
only excuse you can give, right, is that they're white. That's the only thing you can say. Just like, oh, the only reason why
what
we
really
got trash.
impressed me,
Mm.
What?
Fiji's rugby sevens team. It's not even like they're playing and okay, they won't go lah, but okay, it's not even they're playing or the
Fiji's
story
good.
that they fly on a cargo plane full of like frozen fish to Japan because there are no commercial flights going into Fiji. But
Exactly.
the
Yes.
no, but and okay, so before the gold medal match, right, they played the national anthem for both Fiji and New Zealand, right? Then okay lah, then All Blacks didn't do their haka or whatever, but the Fiji national anthem played, right? All of them cried, like before the game, they haven't win anything yet, and they are full grown big rugby men tearing up because of the pride they feel for their country and the passion that they have to fight for their nation. And it's like so evident in the way they play and the way they like celebrate. After that, they all sing one like Fiji song together. I was like, I want to sing this song and then I want to become a Fijian because of this. And then when they win, right, then the national anthem come out again. Wow, the tears from my eyes also start falling down. I was like, yes, I am a Fijian
I
together with them.
I think in general, right, Singaporeans as a whole lack a lot of identity.
Right.
lah. If you ask a
Right.
Singaporean like what
Yeah,
makes you
GS
Singaporean, right? They say I don't know. They don't care. They don't care about being
No,
Singaporean.
it feels like qualities that are associated with Singaporeans are all kind of negative.
Okay,
Like we work.
Like
I
being
completely
kiasu and
agree, lah.
shit.
I
We
agree.
stop
I agree.
belittling ourselves. We have to realize our greatness.
As in every Singaporean says we have no culture, we have no
We must be
history.
proud to be.
Oh,
my
no.
God. No, Jesus.
Anyway, I would say we're still a young country. I hope we can grow more somehow.
It's
Anyway,
just so
No, I
sad to
think
see. Like we go back to the Joseph Schooling thing, right? That guy literally made Singaporean history, and 5 years later, he's getting he's getting hate for even being there. It's
yeah, it's
insane
ridiculous.
to me.
Actually, how can
It's
people call him
insane.
fat? Have you seen his physique? He looks pretty
Yeah,
insane to
dude.
me.
Yeah.
yeah.
They
Like,
hang that shit
like I
on
want
the
to
wall.
see the body of everyone who calls him fat, man. Seriously.
Yeah.
Fat swimmers do well because they're more
Yeah,
buoyant.
that's
Yeah.
true. That's true. They need that buoyancy.
Yeah, today
legit.
during the 100-meter final, they were panning through, and I was like, oh, this Italian, I think he can lose a bit of fat. And then he freaking won that shit.
Oh, that shit was so hype, man. Oh my god.
I was damn hyped the video. But I was damn hyped for the triple jump. It was crazy.
Anyway,
Bro, that
let's,
triple jump was mad.
let's talk to Peter and Xing Sheng. Peter, tell me, best thing about Singapore compared to Australia and worst thing.
Oh. So like this maybe goes counter to like what you guys all are saying. Actually, when I was in Australia, that was during my primary school years. But I can say quite certainly I enjoyed Singapore's way of life a lot more. So the reason being is that you know in Aus in like you know in Australia the education is very exploratory. So what I mean it's actually the complete opposite of Singapore. In Singapore it's just like, oh, you all get straight A's, then decide what you want. In Australia, right from prep school, like right from the prep year, which is before year one, um they already will tell you like go and explore like what you want to do. So you'll say like, oh, you want to be a carpenter, then go and learn and stuff like that. And school is very laid back. There are no exams until you're like 16 years old, like 15 years old or something like that. So like it was very chill, but for me it was too chill. I didn't it didn't drive me enough lah. I didn't really enjoy it. But when I came to Singapore, then at least there's a bit of tension, a bit of competition. I like that a lot. Another one is I think the food in Singapore honestly is superior to
Every
any
other country on the
country
planet.
except for
Food in
Malaysia
Singapore is solid.
because I
That's
like
so not
local
true.
food.
Oh my
Except for
god.
Malaysia.
Okay,
Okay, that's
okay.
a different
Food-wise,
conversation.
food-wise.
That's a different
Walao,
conversation. And
I'm
I'm the
gonna
only
send
Malaysian
the
here.
Trace Together people to your house now, Peter.
No,
It's a
no, no,
different, it's a
yeah,
different
okay.
conversation. Singapore has things like some things other countries have, Singapore don't have. Sometimes I
course,
crave pig's
Okay,
blood.
okay.
I can't
Okay,
get it in
okay, yeah.
Singapore.
So like,
pig's blood.
so like,
Just go find a pig.
And to be fair, I had
Yeah.
nasi lemak in KL, and I'm pretty sure that was the best nasi lemak I had in my life.
yeah, man, I'm telling you, Malaysian food is unreal. It's
But
something.
Singapore
It's like,
has
okay,
so much better
No.
other food than Malaysia.
No,
You
I
always say
think-
Malaysia,
I think
eat
Singapore
Malaysia.
has all the Malaysian food in the same
you
place.
can't beat Singapore in
Yeah.
terms of diversity.
I don't have to
Yeah.
drive 2
Oh, yeah,
hours
yeah,
to eat
absolutely
nasi
not.
lemak after my
That's
rendang,
true.
dude.
That's true. That's true.
That's true. You
Diversity
can
is
beat
true.
Singapore in terms of diversity.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
like,
Singapore
I mean,
is
like,
diversity.
I asked myself a question. I was like, like, name. I mean, okay, like for example, take like Vietnamese food. Like we have pretty good Vietnamese food, and honestly, when I went to Hanoi and I ate their pho, I like Singapore's pho better. Like, to me, and we have pretty good Thai food too. Like our Italian food is pretty good. Like I've been to Italy, I've eaten their pasta, and honestly, like it
It's
tastes
good.
pretty good
Oh,
here
yeah.
too,
Yeah, but Singapore is not
Yeah.
bad.
right?
We're not
Like
awful,
Singapore's
you know.
food is
Yes.
good. It's
Definitely
good. Like
the upper mid tiers.
yeah,
If I ask you to go
definitely,
Malaysia,
right?
eat pasta, will you do it or not?
No
Honestly,
lah, of course
hell
not.
no.
But the thing is that
It's true.
all of my favorite foods lie in Malaysia. So
Okay.
yeah, so like this is personal
Okay,
preference kind of thing.
personal. Okay,
I
but
think
that's
Malaysian hawker food is superior, but yeah.
You
Continue,
don't have
continue.
hawkers. What do you mean?
okay,
You
but
sit on the
what
side of the road and then you pray you don't get food
Arguable.
poisoning.
Okay,
No cap.
Singapore's pasar malam, can I just say it's trash? Night market in
Okay,
Singapore is
yeah.
trash.
That one
Night
I kind of
market
agree.
here
That was more. It's more
yeah.
nostalgic than
Yeah.
anything else.
it used to be legendary, dude.
Yeah, bro. Like
I went into the guppy
the
pond in my Pampers and
Oh,
catch
shit, man.
guppies inside my Pampers. That's
but the night
ridiculous.
market is here.
Got
Is trash.
guppies inside your Pampers.
Yeah.
I need the smoke to be reaching up to the 16th story of the HDBs where it's perched beside. That's a good night market.
I think the
No, but
pasar
that's-
Singapore
Yeah.
are destroyed
No, but
because of
that's the-
health reasons lah.
That's the good thing
It's
about
all-
the HDB. The good thing about HDB is the bad thing about the market.
yeah,
I mean, if you spend so much money to buy your 16th floor unit and then the smoke still reach you, you'll be like, oh my god, I gotta
oh,
complain.
dude, my
HDB.
my 9th floor unit at around 1 Toa Payoh, and that freaking McDonald's smell every day is in my room, man.
Wait, serious?
Yeah, every day I go into my room, I smell the freaking McNuggets frying downstairs.
Anyway, Singapore
That's
McDonald's is top
amazing.
McDonald's in the world.
That's not.
Singapore
Oh,
McDonald's,
man,
best
man.
McDonald's in the world.
Okay,
I
is every
agree.
That's the
Say
best
that with
McDonald's in the world.
Let's say that. Yeah, it's the best.
with
Hands down, it's the
confidence.
best.
Yes, yeah,
the
hands
best.
down.
I gotta say, school canteens in Singapore have to be one of the best in the world, right?
Okay, wait,
For
no.
sure.
NJ was
No,
is
NJ was
anomalous.
NJ
We are
yeah,
too
it's
good.
anomalous. Yeah.
Ours was too good. Both
Yeah,
my
it's
sisters have
insane.
complained about
The
MGS,
Padang bombs,
SGII. Yeah.
Okay, Hwa Chong
Okay,
Canteen was
Peter.
pretty
Yeah,
good,
that's true.
friend.
Yeah.
But what Peter said about the education system is very eye-opening to me.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, whatever we said, right, it's just totally refuted by what Peter said. So you can't go to extremes, lah.
I think it's
right?
really
China
like
is-
it's personal choice,
Yeah.
right? The competition that Peter
personal
likes
choice.
is what a lot of people
Yeah.
in Singapore feel the stress about.
Yes, we are
Interesting.
Asian.
But honestly, like,
we need
yeah,
it.
but I must say, I must say that like, it's my only critique of like the Singaporean education system, which is you're not expected to think of what you want to do in life until you get your A level cert. You know,
Yeah. that
if
is
you
true.
if you
It's
want
true.
to actually like I was kind of brought up this way. It's just if you the mentality was if I get straight A's, I can go anywhere. So that's why, like, we don't think that much. But the thing is, but the truth is that you should start thinking way, way before you even begin, like your pre-U education, right? So that's something that I believe Australia offers, like, yeah, a lot more than what Singapore does. And I think it's only, yeah, it is its only critique.
That's how
Because
that's how you get all those 12-year-old, 13-year-old Indian coders on YouTube, dude. Because they
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So like,
What
I
a
mean,
true passion.
I'm highly driven by like that saying, that I don't know who it's from, but the saying is that if you love what you do for work, you never work a day in your life,
Yeah.
right? I feel like,
Mm.
You will
if
spoil
we,
it. You will spoil it for yourself.
Yeah, I feel like you're spoiled first.
yeah,
When you work your passion, you will spoil the passion.
You spoil the passion.
yeah,
for
okay,
yourself.
well,
You're
what I
monetizing
mean,
it. It's no longer a passion.
Okay,
okay,
but
that's
I
something
think
like our, yeah, our previous
yeah,
discussion, but
it's
it's
like what we
true.
said.
Like, if you have some form of if you derive some form of enjoyment from what you do for work, then like
It's
outside of
better lah.
monetary,
Yeah lah.
then
But honestly,
that's a big bonus, right?
Honestly,
like what
for
Peter
me, I
Yeah.
just need to find a job that I don't hate. I think that's good enough
okay,
for
yeah,
me.
that's most
Mm.
people though. Honestly, that's most
That's,
people.
I think that's the Singaporean
That's
mindset,
really
and then just go
Singaporean way,
home.
though. I feel.
Okay, but let me just say what
Yeah.
Peter said just now about like about how we have to choose. I mean, it's good to know what we want to do early or like explore at least, right? I think like
Yeah.
that's the most ironic thing, right, in Singapore, because in
Mm.
Singapore, right, like you would expect people to want pressure you to like find out what you want to do so that you can start early and be the best at it. But for some reason, right, this is something right that everyone is like prancing on eggshells about, and like your parents are like, you know, you don't need to be, you don't need to do this, like you don't need to be a doctor, you just study hard, which is damn ironic, right? Because like is you would expect people to like try to like
Look,
pressure you
I think
to
the consensus is that when you study hard and
Yeah.
you do well, you have choices. That's
Yeah,
the
that's
general
the
consensus. You're just
Village,
studying for
the
choices.
privilege of choices.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like what that breeds, the whole idea of like study hard first and then you can make a choice. It still like instills this idea of like you should do whatever is the most profitable, like whatever gives you the most monetary gain. But
Yeah.
that
It
is something that
starts- it
we
starts with
subscribe to. I
grades,
mean,
starts with
all
grades.
this
yeah,
will
like
probably be like ill-informed choices,
We
For
should
sure lah,
bring
as in,
yeah,
back
but I
like,
mean,
graded PE. What happened to graded
yeah,
PE?
What to graded PE?
graded
Oh my
PE,
god, that was
exactly.
Dude, but honestly, the way
hey, that was
Most controversial point.
dude, the way they
Hey,
grade for
my
PE
engine
is so
life
dumb
is the graded
sometimes,
PE.
man. They grade
Yeah.
me based on how many times I can juggle the soccer ball on my foot. I can't do that shit.
Oh my god.
Oh yes.
Try harder instead of studying. See?
Okay, you listen to yourself. They grade me how many times I can juggle the thing. They grade me how well I can do math. I can't do math.
Yeah, you grade according to your abilities, man.
Isn't that
What's the
ridiculous?
difference, Sean? What's the
Hey,
difference?
Sean, what's the difference?
Just get a choice whether
there
you
is
want to
no
be graded
difference.
for PE or math.
Like, if you think
Yes.
about it, right?
Get a choice.
If you think about it, right, why is it that Chinese was so high? Why was it math was so high, English so, but then like humanities were rated so low because of the credit system? Like, why are those less important? You know?
That's
Also, it's
straight
what
up.
can make you money, ma.
Yeah, lor.
That's damn
Yeah, lor.
obvious. That's
It's
quite
so
funny.
obvious.
Everything
Yeah.
is about money, man. Which is
The
Yeah,
best
Yeah.
question
same
everything is about
everywhere.
are we gonna do PCME or BCME? Doctor?
And
Or,
you think
or-
about it
it's
again.
just one of those two.
AUP had 8 credits. It's double everything. It doesn't make
Oh, that's
doesn't make
true.
sense. Yeah. I mean, it's just I think it really depends on like you're in NJ. NJ is a science stream kind of school, so their focus
Yeah.
could be that.
Honestly, I can't.
There's prominence on that.
I don't think we
But
should.
I mean, AEP is an alternate program, and the focus should be art. Therefore, my art has higher credit.
Yeah.
No,
So
but you're giving up a lot of subjects for that art. That's why it replaced it. It's not because it's a lot. You know what I mean?
mm,
If nothing had credits, it wouldn't have changed anything.
I think it also depends. I think it's also depend on the workload. Because AEP had heavy workload, like really, really heavy workload. That's why I take credits.
Again,
like,
because it's replacing core subjects, not because it is considered
it didn't
important.
replace core subject. It's a
You
just
didn't.
adding
AEP
on.
was you did it instead of other stuff, what? Not man.
Instead of econs.
Econs is considered
wow.
pretty important, what? Not man in Singapore.
Is it? I don't know.
It's. I
never
think it's
felt it.
pretty much easily the most taken what's it? Like humanities.
Okay,
Oh,
it's also
humanities, yeah.
another choice that people make, not because they want to do it, but because they don't know what to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, because and it's also trend following again because it's PCME. Everyone takes PCME. Why not I just take PCME? You know?
No,
Yeah.
PCME is
Right.
taken the most often because it's the easiest to score. In
No
terms
idea,
of
but
like,
Honestly,
you're not taking it because you like these subjects. You're taking it
Yeah,
because
yeah.
strategically these are the best chances
okay,
of you
but
to
straight
get more
up,
choices.
we can't really talk too much about all this shit anyway because it's so close-minded
did it.
also. 'Cause it's just
Yeah.
we did
JC.
it.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
yeah,
It's just,
Singapore is
I
much better
despise
than
about formal education. Like absolutely despise about formal education. I think it's like taking away our appreciation for teachers also. It's tuition. Oh,
Oh my
god.
god.
Tuition is a whole nother beast, dude.
yeah,
Hey,
tuition.
Peter, in Australia, is there
The
any
most
tuition
profitable
culture?
industry in Singapore, I swear, tuition.
Okay.
No tuition in Australia.
That's why right, it becomes a pay to win,
So
man.
you know what tuition is feeding off? Tuition is feeding on parents' ego. That's how they're making money.
Oh, what do you mean by that?
Actually, honestly, at the
Like-
higher levels, like the kids start requesting tuition also. Like they want to
And
do.
that's when the kids realize that they need to do well, but at the earlier level, it's really just parents fighting other
Yeah,
parents.
that's because they realize all their friends are gachaing or they haven't paid to win yet. They need to
Yeah,
pay to
bro.
win.
I mean,
in
if
China,
you
it's
think
the same.
about
Actually, in Singapore,
Singapore, right?
in China is there also such a tuition culture?
Of course,
Yeah,
dude.
there's it's
Check it.
but it came on later than Singapore, and the China tuition culture is a lot worse. It's not tuition; it's basically prep
they
school.
just force. I thought they just forced the China tuition to become public under the government now.
Oh, no, they impose some regulations on the tuition
Yeah, there's
industry.
no China.
It's
Anytime an industry becomes too profitable, the government will crack down on it and make it a
It's like
government
that.
thing.
Yeah,
Wow,
That's
thank
how
God
it
you're a
works in
citizen
China.
now.
Profitable
Oh,
is
shit.
crazy.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Yeah, like that's how it works. They just don't want anything to be too privatized. It's a communal capitalist. But anyways,
Okay.
in China, the education system is like what they do is I think it's a lot more direct than Singapore. Like they really emphasize, oh, you must study and get good marks. The Gaokao is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
yeah. It is.
Gaokao in China is insane, and the amount of money people spend to do that, and the amount of people they travel like hours just to go to the designated exam venues to do it.
Hmm.
Wow. They say it's the first big hurdle of your life in China.
Basically, Singapore is like a condensed China.
No, it's
It
not.
is.
I think Singapore is much better than China. Much, much better.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
Singapore is
there's a chemistry teacher that told us that A levels is the hardest thing you will ever face in your life, unless you get a
Yeah.
divorce.
I also did say
Who was
that.
that?
There's your name drop, but I probably can't even remember who
I
it
heard
is.
it before, but I don't remember the
It was a
name.
chem
But it's
teacher.
fine.
I heard it
It was
before.
a chem teacher.
Yeah.
Chem teacher.
But the thing is that, like, I don't know, was it the guy who like sang and shit?
No. Okay,
No,
that's
no,
enough.
no,
That's
no.
enough.
So honestly,
Okay,
We won't
the
name drop.
most stressed I've ever been for any exam is not A levels. It's my freaking driving test, dude. Dude,
Okay.
driving test is the next level
You know why it's
Dude,
stress? Because
of
you spend money
stress.
on it, bro.
Yeah,
I
you
hate
fail.
dri-
It's
I
another
hate driving.
$500, dude.
Yeah, it's not
Ridiculous.
500.
Well, it's like
That-
400,
it
dude,
is,
or some
it
shit.
is.
Yeah, it's
Let's straight up,
$500.
right? Let's straight up feeds
Yeah,
what you said just now, right? About how everything is run by money.
Really?
Because you
Yeah,
don't give
bro.
a you don't give a shit about your future, about your grades, about how your grades gonna affect your future. You care about the $500 they spend.
Yeah, I don't care about
Yeah,
the
so
A level
the-
shit. I don't
yeah,
care about
yeah.
like you go army. I don't care about like some shooting a gun or throwing a grenade. I care about that $500, man.
Okay, Peter, like, does the fees affect how much you want to study? Like, if you know that, because your fees are more expensive. Our fees are more expensive.
Sorry. Biz?
Our fees are more expensive for
School
school.
fees.
But does it
Oh.
in certain way give you pressure and shit?
So like for fees, of course it did pressure me like at the start, but I'm in a very blessed position such that fees are not a humongous factor to me. It's more about like where like what how well am I using my time here? Am I really sure that the money that I'm putting in is getting me somewhere that I really want to be? Yeah. So to me, it doesn't matter as much, but that's because I'm in a very blessed position. Yeah.
I think for me, I was kind of forced into getting a scholarship because
Right.
when your family is poor, right, you have to work hard to get. They try to get minimize the fees.
Mm.
I think that kind of compromise things that I actually want to do as well.
Right.
I mean, I can tell you with like supreme confidence that if it weren't for the fact that my parents were like, affluent enough to afford my education, right? There's no damn way I would have even considered going overseas at all. Like from the start, like going overseas was only like first of all, like I only considered if it was like even slightly comparable to NUS/NTU in the first place, because like the name of the university matters so much nowadays, and then after that I was like, oh my god, it is better than NUS, and that was the only reason why like I was even able to like convince my parents to go,
Pay
because
to win again.
I mean it's not just pay to win, in a sense it's also like
Understand.
yeah.
But
NUS
Yeah. Where you have limited options, is a lot of ifs. If a particular criteria is met, then you can move on to the next choice that you can make. Then another criteria has to be met so that to justify every single choice. When you're in a less fortunate position.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, if I were to go overseas, my prerequisite was to get an overseas scholarship, and there's a lot of ifs. I can't just I can just go because I can afford it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, of course.
My if was way easier.
Yeah.
If I could just get into a course better than what I could get in US, then I could go. So I mean, it's very different. And I am very, very lucky. It's just
Honestly, I think AS is just mediocre. Like all their subjects are kind of like mid-high range in terms of how good they
NUS
are.
is value.
It's value,
NUS is
man.
very
After that, it's just value for
upper
money.
middle, always upper
And
middle.
the upper middle, there's like everything's upper middle. Nothing excels, which is a bit like annoying.
Yeah, but I need to go already. But I just want to say
yeah.
that like, for Singaporeans,
Okay,
right?
we'll end episode soon. Yeah.
I think we're doing fine. We like beat up ourselves about it.
Beating up ourselves about it is really a big problem, I think.
And then I just feel like we have like not enough pride in like what has like happened, and then we just always
And the amount of shit our ministers get.
belittling ourselves, and then when shit hits the fan, then just point fingers. So,
Yeah.
I mean
I agree. Pointing fingers a bit. When one finger point out, three finger point at myself.
Yeah.
He's
in the order for you, it's also for me.
for reals, bro. Shit.
Yeah, so
This guy got the.
I just think that we can do better in terms of pride, and I'm very proud to be NJC JK. Proud to be a Singaporean.
Definitely.
Yeah.
This year National Day, I made it a point. I'm gonna buy the tattoo shit. Last time P5 you go for the.
Oh, I
did
did that also. It's so cute.
Every National Day, right? Every
Yeah,
National Day,
that
I
one, yeah.
love it.
Oh,
I
God.
love National Day. When I did the NDP thing, right? On the actual day itself, I saw the fireworks. Like, wow, tears come down my eyes.
The thumbnail for this video, it should be that fake Joel, dude. The one.
Yo, hey.
Oh my god. It's our stickers.
That's it, dude.
The tears come down my eyes, like the Fiji guys. This is home. I'm like, yes, I love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
What's
that's what I
your-
have to say. Have more pride in Singapore.
That's your
So-
moment that you felt proud to be a Singaporean. What other moments though?
Every
What other
moment I'm
moments?
proud to be a Singaporean.
Every day of my damn
Every day
life.
I eat a chicken rice downstairs my house, like, this is damn good. Oh my gosh, I'm proud to be a Singaporean. Every
When
day
I
I take
can
the
walk
bus, right,
5
the
steps and
aircon
reach a
working.
market.
You go overseas, you realize how good Singapore is, man. You
Take the
really
bus.
do.
Yeah. It's
I look at the
Working,
MRT system, I'm
proud to
like,
be a
yes,
Singaporean.
this is good shit.
Order McDonald's at
Yeah, it
12
is.
a.m. Oh my god, life is perfect, dude.
Can walk in the street and not be afraid of the blah blah. Proud to be a Singaporean. No shanking, Proud to be a Singaporean. The most dangerous thing
Being
in
able
Singapore
to
is Tinder. Proud to be a
even though
Singaporean.
there are no real minorities here, right? Except maybe Xingqiang being a foreigner,
You
being
can't
able
see-
to be a minority safely in Singapore is already, I feel, a very, very big.
That's not 100%
say that.
true.
You can't say that.
I
Can't say
mean, no,
that.
it's in a sense like, how do you say? It's not
Okay.
like, how do I say?
Like
Okay, never mind.
physically, you know,
Singaporeans-
physically, not
Singaporeans,
like
like the middle high income Singaporeans, they have like some kind of superiority complex for sure. And my mom gets
Yeah.
shit
Okay,
from
that's-
my mom gets shit from her clients sometimes.
Yeah, of course, of
man.
course. This,
Yeah.
Oh man.
And they
Uh,
just like look down on people doing,
Yeah, that's
shitty
me when I
jobs.
did the food. When I
That's
did the
damn
food
annoying.
panda.
honestly,
Don't appreciate service.
Oh,
They
yeah,
don't
this
appreciate
Dude,
service.
the food
elitism
panda I
shit
deliver
is
to my own house,
ridiculous.
right? The
I
lady
feel
don't even
like
want to
for every
open the door for
Singaporean
me
that's like
at my
that.
own house. Damn
Yeah,
it.
like
Yeah, man, Joel, that was ridiculous. When you told me that, I thought that was just absolutely
You don't
Wait, your
open
own
the
house?
Yeah, I deliver food to
Ah.
my own house, and then the
As in
lady don't
your
open.
your own
My mother lah.
condo,
That is-
your mother.
yeah.
My neighbor don't want to open the door for me. It's like,
Oh shit.
hey, you think I'm gonna rob you or what?
Mm,
What's up?
mm,
What's up with this? But anyway,
Yeah.
proud to be Singaporean. That lady wasn't proud to be Singaporean. Yes.
I mean, there are definitely things we still have to work on, lah, as like our people for
Yeah.
sure.
Everybody got things to work on. Okay, peace out, guys.
I
Okay.
Okay.
In general, when I first came, it was like kind of reluctant. And I thought Singapore was part of China, when I first came. It's kind of
what
stupid.
age did you first come again?
I was 9.
Oh.
Yeah. Because like I see everyone's Chinese, just immediately assume like Singapore is part of China. I didn't fly out of the country.
Mm.
It's kind of stupid, but yeah. I also hated Singaporean food when I first had it. Because
What did you eat?
the first meal I had in Singapore was white char kway teow.
oh,
You guys ever had white char kway teow?
that's tough, man.
What
I've
is
had it,
that?
I've had it, but okay.
Yeah,
I guess only nice.
What is that?
It's not a likable thing. It really isn't. I don't even think I'll like
Penang
it
char kway
even if I
teow
try
is
it.
white, but
So it's not
Penang
Penang
char
char
kway
kway
teow
teow. It's a white char kway teow that is like sweet and it's kind of
Oh.
gross. Okay, my first impression of Singapore cuisine is that a lot of things are sweet.
Okay.
I wouldn't call. Okay,
Okay,
okay, fine.
It's the oyster sauce. It's the fact that there's
Okay.
oyster sauce in everything. That's why it's
Okay.
like kind of sweet. Yeah, but I grew to like this place. I think knowing that like there's a lot of diversity. My close friends are all non-Chinese.
Mm.
Thing. Like I have 2 Indians who I keep close. Yeah,
Okay.
Like Wei Shen, that's a TikTok clip, man. That is a TikTok clip.
This guy's
Like, 2
cancelled, dude.
Indians I keep close.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
that's
bro.
great,
It's
what?
just,
That's honestly great, what?
Yeah,
You
I
know?
love it. I love the fact
Yeah,
that
yeah, it is.
my close friend in primary school was this Malay dude. Yeah,
Mm.
I don't know. I didn't get along with Singaporean Chinese well at first. They had an EQ vibe about them. I think, like, in primary school especially, all of them like put down on all the foreigners. And my class was like, there was 40 people in my class, and then it was like 20 foreigners. No, there was only 8 Singaporean Chinese.
Oh wow.
There's only 8 Singaporean Chinese. The rest are all either China or there was China, there was Myanmar, there was Indonesia, there was Korean, there was like Nepal. A lot. There's a lot. I think back then was the immigrant boom in the 2007, 2008 period. I think a lot of immigrants came in. Yeah.
So what do you dislike about Singapore then that like maybe you grown to dislike?
What would dislike? Wow. I think it's more on hindsight, things that I went through and I enjoyed at first, then I look at it actually kind of screwed up. Like, we talk about the education system and all things like that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of it's on hindsight, but you ask me whether I'm enjoying or I'm liking everything I'm experiencing now. Yeah, I am. It's pretty nice.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay, maybe how expensive housing is in Singapore, man, is kind of screwed up.
True.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Actually,
screwed
if you're foreigner in Singapore,
That's
buying a
another
house is so
episode.
expensive.
That's tough, man, honestly.
I
That's so
experienced
true.
it firsthand, and like, what the shit, man. It's so screwed up.
Mm.
And the fact that like government subsidies is only for first-time home buyers who are in a couple is also kind of like crazy. And the fact that you can't even
Yeah,
do proper property
that is
investment
straight
in
up.
Singapore.
That's just straight up right.
Mm.
Encouraging people to get kids and then get together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Honestly.
mean the low birth rate is also a problem. Do you
Yeah.
guys even
True.
remember that stupid National Day shit that they released Singapore night? Try to encourage people to have sex and stuff.
Wait, what?
It's a music video released
Number
during
two.
National Day. It's called Singapore Night. And the whole video is so awkward. Like,
Really?
it's a lyric video and it's damn awkward. It's called Singapore Night. You can just YouTube it.
One night.
Oh damn.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
Damn.
That's something I need to go watch for sure.
pretty sure it was a National Day release kind of shit.
Oh.
I even think it was by one of the government agencies or something like that.
Mm.
But okay, Singapore does weird things sometimes.
To me, it's really heartwarming to see like people, especially like Sing Sheng, who've come here and sort of made Singapore their home. I'm so happy that like, although it's not always great lah, it's actually really difficult to integrate to become like a Singaporean. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think
Yeah.
some of our friends probably still don't realize that that Sing Sheng is actually a Singaporean now. Even though he's basically been brought up in our culture and is a
I think
Singaporean.
a second culture. Okay,
Yeah.
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 Mm.
It feels different lah. I think you're transitioning from one culture to another, and the fact that you're assimilated more to the subsequent culture, it kind of feels like you're abandoning your first. And I don't know, I'm very okay with that, but people around you usually are not okay with you being like that.
Mm.
Yeah, Peter, is that why you don't wanna get your citizenship?
You just
No. It's
Because
just.
the Malaysian food too good, dude.
The KFC wanted
I
the
mean, it's
price.
not. Yeah, the Malaysian food too good.
The
But I mean, like,
A&W.
there's an A&W in Ang Mo Kio, what the heck?
Oh,
Oh,
shit. Yo, I did not
Yeah,
know that.
bro.
it's
It's
I only
A&W in
seen
Ang
the
Mo
one at
Kio.
Jewel.
wait, it just
Yeah.
opened or what? Like,
It's been a while already. I went recently, like to Ang Mo Kio and
Oh,
UC
man.
and I saw like there's an A&W there.
Damn.
I gotta go.
Okay. Anyways, thanks for listening in, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
This was great.
good times.
Happy National Day.
Yeah.
Happy National Day.
Happy
I guess-
National
Also
Day.
Singapore.
At the
Let's watch the
end,
National Night video.
at the end of the day, right, we all complain like crazy about Singapore, but I'm pretty sure if you could choose anywhere to live, it would probably still be Singapore.
Probably be Singapore. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
100%.
I mean, we just like to complain. Yeah, I mean, we have to,
That
right?
is Singaporean. That is very
Yeah,
Singaporean.
How can we
Yeah,
be
it is.
happy
Yeah.
with what we
Okay,
have?
Yeah. Yeah.
okay, I think one thing moving forward is just for all Singaporeans to be less critical and more loving, honestly, and less
Mm.
pessimistic, and then a lot of things will be better.
I think being critical is good, but
Yeah.
we need to channel that energy into actually improving shit rather than just complaining.
Yeah.
Critical,
All talk no action is bad. It's a bad thing.
constructive criticism,
Yeah, constructive
Mm.
criticism.
Have
Exactly.
more
Destructive.
empathy as a people.
not destructive
And
criticism.
just be kind to each other, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's important.
Alright, thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Bye, everybody.
See ya in probably 2 weeks, to be honest. Bye bye.
Alright.
Uh,
Happy National Day.
woo.